Call me Killer Croc. Got that name on account of my good looks.
It has been claimed by scientists that life on Earth originated not on land, but in the depths of the ocean, with an ancient fish being the first creature that would eventually evolve into a human. Interestingly, humans and chimpanzees diverged from the same primate family as crocodiles and alligators. Of course, that was 25 million years ago, but this detail becomes really important thanks to the central character of today's video. As Amanda Waller said in the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, evolution took a backseat with Killer Croc. What eventually began as a skin disease progressed to Waylon Jones becoming more akin to a crocodile than a human, hence the name. But what led to this? How does evolution tie into the whole plot? To get answers to your questions, keep watching this video. Before diving into the content, we would like to make a very small request to our viewers. Please subscribe to Marvelous Videos, like and comment on our videos, and press the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload a video. We would be grateful to you, and we hope to bring you the best nerdy content, so without further ado, let's get right into the video. How did Waylon Jones become Killer Croc? Originally known as Waylon Jones, he hailed from a slum in Tampa. A medical condition led to Jones having a reptilian appearance with scaly skin. His mother passed away during childbirth while his father abandoned him. He was raised by his alcoholic, abusive aunt, who could eventually scrape the hardened skin off his body. His pre-adolescent years were plagued by bullying. His bullies gave him the nickname Croc. It all happened 20 years ago in the southern states of America, where rehabilitation wasn't the most compassionate. The psychiatric rehabilitation made matters worse, as he fell victim to severe assaults, both sexual and physical, as a result of the rehabilitation. Meanwhile, his skin condition got progressively worse, and he grew more reptilian. He committed his first crime at 16, even killed a man for mocking his face. The murder led to him serving another 18 years in jail. Free again, Waylon Jones, now known as Killer Croc, found a job at a carnival where he wrestled alligators. 6 months after leaving the job, he killed the man who used to assault him. Croc realized that crime was good money and set his sights on becoming a powerful figure in Gotham's underground.
Thought I caught your scent.
I know I caught yours.
What disease does Killer Croc have? What Croc seems to have is a very exaggerated version of epidermolytic hyperkeratosis. In the real world, it's a disease where mutations in keratins 1 and 10 result in blistering at birth and a red appearance of the skin. It is also associated with having really scaly skin, but the type of scaliness Croc was infamous for was quite different compared to the scaliness that normally manifests as a result of this disease. In other places, it was stated that he had ichthyosis vulgaris, a skin condition where keratin buildup results in a scaly appearance. It prevents the skin from creating lubricants, which results in the hardening of the skin. However, neither of the diseases could explain Croc's scaling. Later, it was confirmed to be a type of degenerative atavism in Batman's collection of files, where he would often jot down his personal theories. Due to his regressive atavism, Croc has inherited the traits of ancestral species that humans have evolved from, which in this case happens to be crocodiles. The presence of a metagene amplifies the severity of this condition, causing Croc to eventually regress into his more primal reptilian form that dates back to his 25-million-year-old reptilian ancestors. Atavism results in vestigial ancestral traits present in the human DNA becoming dominant. Humans tend to possess some of their vestigial traits that they do not require in the modern world. A good example of this is the appendix, the removal of which does not really hamper the quality of life. It only exists as a genetic leftover, just like the tailbone that does not grow a tail. When there is a malfunction in the genetic code, some of these ancestral traits can present themselves in a modern-day human, which often does not go back to the pre-mammalian era, but it did for Croc, making it a ridiculously rare case. This means that Croc's extraordinary physical abilities are not a result of being a metahuman, and instead, it is his primal strength that gives him inhuman and extraordinary physical abilities, such as his superhuman strength, durability, endurance, and speed. As time went by, Killer Croc became more of a crocodile, with his appearance changing to mimic his ancestor, though he continued to stand on his 2 legs. However, this led to his ostracization by others, leading to Croc turning against humankind and occasionally devouring them. What does Killer Croc look like? Despite his condition, Croc started off looking more human than a crocodile. However, as the reptilian features overtook his human features, Croc's skin around his neck began to toughen and change in color. During his teenage years, his muscular and skeletal systems changed to mimic that of a predatory reptile. His skull began to look more like that of a salamander's, and his jaw would constantly lengthen and strengthen, allowing Croc to have the bite of a crocodile's. His skin also took the color of a crocodile's, with an ashy green appearance. At present, Croc is 7 feet 5 inches tall, which is 228.6 centimeters. He weighs 686 pounds and has green scaly skin across his body. His teeth are sharp like those of a crocodile, but even bigger, quite possibly due to oral mutation. He has orange eyes, and he is not the most handsome guy on the block. With his reptilian physiology, Croc boasts insane durability due to his hide being somewhat resistant to bullets and firearms. Continued de-evolution has also led to Jones losing his human-like facial structure, with his mouth turning into a snout that projects outwards. His bone structure is quite heavy, as it is needed for Croc to support his reptilian muscular body. He also has a complex structure or ligaments that help support his frame. Other than that, his limbs display webbing that allows him to be agile underwater, just like his genetic cousins. Can he breathe underwater? The answer is no. Crocodiles in general cannot breathe underwater because they do not have gills. However, they can hold their breath for more than an hour as they reduce their movements and conserve oxygen. And in the case of Croc, he is quite literally a humanoid crocodile. In fact, Amanda Waller mentioned this in one of the comics, where the Suicide Squad members were given suits for an underwater mission. In the situation, Waller would subsequently say, "Croc, no suit for you, since you can hold your breath underwater." What he can do apart from holding his breath is swim better than most people. In his notes, Batman classified Croc as a semi-aquatic creature because he lived in the sewer tunnels. Can Killer Croc reproduce? There is no definitive answer to this, but there's a strong likelihood that Killer Croc can reproduce, but he can only do so with a human and certainly not with a crocodile. We must remember that he is a humanoid crocodile, so he probably has the reproductive system of a human. If he was a crocodile human, not sure if that is a word, but bear with us, he would probably be on his forelegs, but have a bigger head to accommodate his brain. Who knows? Either way, in that case, Croc would possibly be able to reproduce with the crocodile, but not with a human. Why someone with a human intelligence would reproduce with a crocodile is another question, but we do not have an answer for that one. In a separate community, Croc was infused with the DNA of a crocodile, which led to him gaining his claws, tail, and snout. However, the continuity did not continue to be canon, leaving us with a Croc who was a result of a type of evolution that was faced with a very powerful Uno reverse card. He also had girlfriends, proving that if he can do it, anyone can. On the other hand, real crocodiles lay eggs, and so it is unlikely for Croc to have offspring with a crocodile. In the Injustice Elseworlds series, Killer Croc is married to Grace Ballin's Orca. Together, the mass-murdering couple is expecting a child, proving that Croc most definitely can reproduce. The only reason why this is not a definitive answer is because it is the Elseworlds series, which is a strictly hypothetical storyline that strays away from the DC Universe canon. Can Killer Croc be cured from his disease? Thomas Elliot, or Hush, had implanted a virus that led to the devolution of Croc. He was then asked to kidnap a kid, as Hush promised him that the ransom money would be used to cure Killer Croc. Of course, that was not true, as Hush was just using Croc. However, this opened up a new avenue for Croc. Later, after he was taken to custody by the FBI and Amanda Waller, where a doctor named Maria Beleza treated him, the treatment successfully took Croc back to his older appearance, where he still resembled a crocodile, but not as much as he did following the experiment done on him by Hush. Later, Batman told Croc about having a lethal infection, but in his brain. It was this virus that had infected him and caused him to mutate, which would only get progressively worse. Batman then gave him an antibiotic to save his life, and Croc began to search for Maria Beleza once again. She gave him an antidote which worked temporarily because the mutation would eventually start again. This led to her concluding that there was no cure for Croc's disease. Killer Croc's weakness. Croc's psychiatrist in Arkham had written a note on his condition, claiming that his constant devolution had resulted in Killer Croc losing his human intelligence. While he would initially take up leadership positions in the criminal world, his intelligence decreased with an increase in strength, leading to Croc becoming an extra muscle for other groups, often acting as their lackey with tremendous brute strength. The psychiatrist also theorized that if the condition could be reversed, Killer Croc's human intelligence would gradually return, allowing them to find the man behind the beast. Other than that, Croc would lose every fight against Batman due to his low IQ, overconfidence, and mental instability. Initially, it was the fact that he had the ability to reason alongside a strong body that made him so formidable. However, the tables soon turned, and outsmarting Killer Croc got easier and easier because his primal reptilian side took over his humanity. Batman would often use food baits in the sewers to trick him with ease. Another fatal weakness that Croc had was his gas-permeable skin, making him overly susceptible to gas attacks. While breath can be controlled, gas permeability cannot. Finally, there is Croc's now-present snout. A human mouth is harder to muzzle than a snout, and despite Croc's strong jaw, Batman tying it with a rubber band often fared great results for the vigilante. How deadly is Killer Croc? With his reptilian physiology comes the ability to regenerate. Notice how lizards can grow their tails back. In the case of Croc, he could even regenerate lost limbs. He also comes with a strong defense thanks to his scaly armored skin. The hardening allows Croc to be invulnerable to abrasion, regular bullets, and firearms, provided they have all been fired from a distance. Other than that, he possesses all the very obvious abilities such as superhuman strength, speed, and stamina. Croc also boasts enhanced senses with his beyond human eyesight. He has incredible reflexes with excellent blood pressure. When it comes to his webbed hands and feet, his hands have retained their human-like thumb while his fingers have their razor-sharp claws. He boasts secondary and tertiary teeth as well, which crocodiles and alligators often have because they shed and regrow their teeth. They have also interlocked like the teeth of a crocodile. Is Killer Croc immortal? All of this brings us to our final question. Is Killer Croc truly immortal? No, because crocodiles are not immortal. Crocodiles can die, and so does Killer Croc in the 3rd issue of the Catwoman Lonely City comics. Yes, Croc has fought against Batman across various shows and comics, and despite losing, he has remained alive, but that is only because Batman does not kill. Amanda Waller had implanted a chip in his system that would kill him if he went against his orders. If Croc happened to be immortal, he would not be threatened by the chip, and would not continue to do Waller's bidding. In Catwoman Lonely City, Croc is seen operating in a team with Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and other villains such as the Riddler. Together, they team up to free the inmates of Arkham, which all starts with Poison Ivy creating fake Arkham staff who are originally plants. Meanwhile, the villains break into the asylum in their truck, while the security chases after them. To evade any possible adversaries, the villains take to a connecting sewer that had been built by Dr. Thomas Wayne to connect the whole city via the subway. Croc mentions how he used to live there before, but soon they are intercepted by heavily armed soldiers. As the two sides begin to press one another, Croc creates an escape for his teammates. He breaks the wall, allowing everyone to escape while he himself holds the structure up on his shoulders. Soon the soldiers shred him apart with their bullets, and he falls under all that debris. All seems lost, but Croc still lives, for now. Catwoman rushes to him and tries to save him, but Croc knows that she cannot, and even if he does not die under the debris, he will soon be killed by the soldiers, and so he indirectly asks Selina Kyle to do it instead, because he does not want to die in the opponent's hands. With a heavy heart, Selina fulfills Croc's dying wish and hits him with a brick before shooting him dead with her gun. And with that, today's video comes to an end. What did you think of Killer Croc? Did you enjoy this video? If yes, then don't forget to like and comment on this video. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.